So, very good afternoon, very good morning. Today we will talk on another farming operation, that is forging. Okay. So, some overview of forging operations and process to require the forged of raw material. And how you calculate the process in forging process. Okay. So, I think all of you know the forging process. This is actually the simple example of forging process is blacksmith. blacksmith पता है ना? तो जो blacksmith में जो blacksmith shop है और क्या उसमें क्या होती है ना, जो heated material is a heated material with the help of a hammer, and we hit the heated material strikes many times, and then the heated material get deformed. That's the basic example of forging process. Okay, so in this process, actually, just not a constant force, just like a hammering type force, applying a hammering type of force, and the material get deformed under this hammering type of forces. Apply the hammering type of forces. Okay, mainly in both the cold and hot forging process are the both type of processes are possible in cold condition and at room temperature and even at high temperature also. Okay. So the basic example of forging process is a blacksmith process. Okay. So, now I will tell one means, the details of forging process. So, in the forging process, this is also a plastic deformation process. The material means, the raw material get the desired shape and size. Okay, by applying of this type of just hammering process. Okay. So the forging is a basic process in which the workpiece is shaped by compressive force applied through various dies and tooling. So there are also various dies means two dies means one is in lower and another is in upper. Okay, and in between two dies there is a workpiece. This is a workpiece. So by applying this hammering type of forces, so this is nothing but a compressive force. So just applying compressive force, material get deformed. Okay, and get is the desired uh, shape of the product. Okay, just this is actually a hot forging process. So in this case, the material get heated above the distillation temperature to means easily deform the material. And at the high temperature, the flowability of the material get easier. Okay, and then applying this marine type of processes, compressive forces to get the desired shape. Okay. The third image is blacksmith workshop. So here just to see how the blacksmith workshop means this is just means showing the in the blacksmith workshop uh, how they are means deform the material. Okay, just heated the material and with the help of a hammer, just applying some hammering load and even sometimes they use the anvil to get the different shapes. Okay, so both parts were good. So in this case, the forged part means and after getting after the forging operation, the products are called the forged part. Okay, means after the forging operation, and those forged part are a very good strength and toughness because in this case the grain size are means in the rolling operation grain size elongated, but here the grain size are squished means more refined. Actually, grain size get more refined. And as the granules is more refined, so the hardness means strength and toughness both are increases. Okay, and they can be controlled by actually the grain structure of the material. Okay, yoga workout. Okay, so as the full part are very means gets the mechanical properties, mainly the strength and toughness can be controlled in cold operation. So these forging process are very reliable and high means very reliable, and this type of process are used in most of the manufacturing industries. Like the example of full part is the body part, means the body part of your automobile. The cover means the upper cover of the automobile body. That part can be manufactured by a forging operation. Okay, and the basic example of the forging process is blacksmith process. So this is actually the blacksmith process is on. I think all of you know about the blacksmith process. Now, this forging process can be performed in either at cold means at room temperature or at a high temperature. So, at means at room temperature, the forging process are called cold forming process, and at the high temperature means above the installation temperature is called the hot forming process. Okay. And in cold forming process, it requires more forces because in this case, the flowability or means to deform the material is to deform the material, more load is required compared to the hot condition. Okay, and uh, and of this material, most possesses sufficient ductility. So, in this case, the more force is required, and the material should be have sufficient ductility, because without having the sufficient ductility, the material cannot be forged, because yeah, the compressive force are applying. So, material have to be ductile to compress it. Otherwise, the material will get fractured. Okay, so the ductility, sufficient ductility should be there in case of cold working process. Okay, in the hot forming process, the material is forged at a high temperature that I told, and at high means above the registration temperature. It requires lower force because at high temperature the flowability of the material get easier. Okay, but the dimensional accuracy and surface finish of the parts are not as good as the cold forming process, because due to at a high temperature the surface of the workpiece material can get oxidized. Okay, and after solidification, means after cooling the material, there is a chances of getting shrinkage. So there is a chance means there is a dimensional inaccuracy. Okay, now now different type of forging process. One is open die forging process. So in this case, the open die forging is the simplest forging process. Means here the material or workpiece, actually this in this case the workpiece is open. Means there is no boundary to uh, flow the work material. Means here there is uh, no guide. So this is the workpiece. This one is the workpiece. So in open die forging process, the material can flow flow in this way. Means after applying a compressive force, what will happen? Uh, so you are applying a compressive force. Okay, on this material, means on this workpiece. So what will happen? The height. So this was the initial height was h naught. Then after applying a compressive force F, the height will reduce from h naught to h1. Yeah, and due to the constancy of volumetry, means the volume of the material remain constant after the deformation. After the deformation, the volume remains constant. So as the height here decreases, so what will happen? The diameter of the means if you are considering this is a cylindrical type, so the diameter of the workpiece will increase. Okay, so if the previous means initially the diameter was d naught, then after deforming the diameter will increase. Okay, so if you write it like in the previous, the length height was h naught, then after deforming after the first step, height is h1. So h1 is less. Okay, and then applying more forces, more compressive forces. Okay, then the height will reduce up to h2. So means h not is a more, then actually height is reduced. Okay, but the diameter, in the previous the diameter was d naught. Okay, then the second step, the diameter the diameter is d1, then the diameter is d2. Okay, so diameter is increased because the volume remains constant. Okay, now what happened? As the diameter increases, but the contact area between this workpiece, this is the workpiece, and this is actually the upper part is the one die part. Okay, so this die means if you are considering the upper surface, so this workpiece and the contact area between this workpiece and die means there is actually friction, as uh, there is a contact between the die and workpiece. Even there is a friction at the lower surface, means bottom surface also. Okay, it means both the upper surface, means top surface, and bottom surface, there is a friction between the workpiece and die. So top face and bottom face there is a, means due to the friction, this top face and bottom face will uh, means means increases compared to the middle part. Actually, the in the middle part there is a no friction; it is open. Okay, so in the middle part, the material will extend more compared to the top and bottom part. Okay, so after forging, the material looks like this oval type. Okay, so this is actually called the barreling. Okay, understand? So just see
Yes, sir.
this. Yes,
No, sir, understood.
understand? Okay, so this is called actually barreling. Okay, so this is called the barreling. So and this barreling actually, so the barreling is occurred due to the friction between this workpiece and the die parts, means upper and lower die part. So this barreling, how can you minimize this barreling? This barreling formation can be minimized by minimizing of this friction, and this friction can be minimized by the application of lubricant. Okay. Now another is the bogging. Bogging is another farming operation. So in this process, just like a just see this animated view. Here just hammering this heated workpiece, and simultaneously you are rotating this workpiece also. Okay, so you are hammering and rotating. So from this rectangular type of shape, you can produce this circular type of product. Okay. you are applying a compressive force, and along with the applying a compressive force, you are rotating the workpiece. Okay, in the blacksmith, I think some of you have seen that this type of processes, just heated material, they are hammering with means applying a compressive force with a hammer, means hammering this, and simultaneously they are rotating the hot specimen also. Okay, so in this way, the rectangular shape, from the rectangular shape, you can convert to a circular type of shape. So gogging is similar to a open die forging process in which the thickness of the bar is reinforced by successively forging steps. Okay, so this is actually successively means means one by one passes uh, after reducing some after reducing some cross sectional area, then passes it to the next step. Okay, so according to the actually requirement of the shape, you passes the this material to the to this station. Okay, so if this station is like this cylindrical type, so then it will form a cylindrical type. Okay, because the contact area between the die and the workpiece is small, means here what happened, the contact area between the die and the this hammer means sorry, the workpiece and this hammer is very less compared to the previous one. So in this case, actually, just see here, the contact area between the die and workpiece are more. But in this case, the contact area is less. So in this case, less amount of friction force are generated. Okay. So just blacksmith performs such type of operation with a hammer and anvil using a hot piece of metal. Okay. So this is actually gogging. Gogging of larger workpiece usually is done using a mechanized equipment and computer control. Means for a large workpiece, it is actually by manually it is not possible. So for a large workpiece, a computerized automatic machine are used. Means computer controlled, and the workpiece are actually passes through different stages. Okay, or stations. Okay. Now forging courses. So forging course in open die forging operation. So this app is nothing but a forging course in case of open die forging operation. So just remember this is in case of open forging operation. Open forging means there is a no just guide way. Means in the inside there is a no guide way. So means material can flow freely in open die forging process. Okay. In this case, the force required to deform the material F is nothing but a similar to means the YF is the flow stress that I told, and YS multiplied by pi into R square. This is nothing but a area pi into R square, and multiplied 1 plus 2 mu into R. Mu is the coefficient of friction, and R and H is I am telling, or R and H is the instantaneous radius and height of the workpiece respectively. Means R and actually what happened when the forging operations is running, and the radius of the workpiece will increase while the H means the height of the surface will get reduced. Okay. So after some forging operation, what happens? The radius will increase and height will reduce. So at that time, what is the value of R and H is called the instantaneous value. Okay. So from this equation, you can easily calculate the forging force. So now, as for example, this solid cylindrical slug made of 304 stainless steel. Okay, and its diameter is 150 mm and height is 100 mm. Height is reduced to 50%, means 100 to sorry 150 to 50% means 70%, 75 150 to 75 height is reduced. And the forging operation was performed at a room temperature by open die forging process. Okay, and assuming that the coefficient of friction is 0.2, calculate the forging force at the end of the stroke. Okay, so means here the volume is constant. Means after forging operation, uh, the height will reduce and the uh, radius or diameter of the piece will get increased. Okay, means H will reduce and R will increase after the forging operation. Okay, so but the volume remains constant. So the initial volume means pi into R square into L length. Okay, will be same. The initial length was 100 mm, and after forging, the height is reduced up to 50%, means 100 to 50% means it get 50 mm. But from this relationship, you have to calculate the R value, means how much radius means radius increase, means the final radius. Okay, means after forging operation, the radius will increase from 150 to uh, sorry, this is actually the diameter, so 75 to 106. Okay, now now you have to calculate the flow stress. So flow stress equal to uh, K into epsilon all to the power n. Means this is the formula. This is the strain hardening formula that I have told in the previous year. So sigma is equal to K into epsilon P all to the power n. Okay. Here we considering epsilon P is nothing but epsilon, means the deformation is totally the plastic deformation. Okay. So epsilon P is nothing but epsilon. Okay, and this sigma is nothing but a flow stress. So this sigma YF equal to K into epsilon to the power n. Okay, and the K value for 304 stainless steel is 1275. This value will be given during the examination, and the n value in strain hardening coefficient of 304 is 0.45. So just putting here K and epsilon, and here sorry, K and N, and epsilon is nothing but a means ln of how much length will reduce. Okay, so for the initial length, yes,
के हेयर इज ये के क्या है सर यहाँ पे?
K, yes, I am telling. K is strength coefficient. K is called strength coefficient. It is constant strength strength coefficient. Okay, so K is called strength coefficient. K is constant. So actually, this formula is a Holloman formula, Holloman equation. I told in your third semester, during third semester,
यस सर, ये
this sigma is equal to K into epsilon P all to the power n. Here epsilon, here epsilon P is nothing but a epsilon, because whole the deformation is plastic deformation. या प्लास्टिक डिफॉर्मेशन नहीं हो रहा है, या इलास्टिक को हम मीन्स नेग्लेक्ट कर रहे हूँ. ओके, so we are considering that all the deformation is plastic deformation. So epsilon P is epsilon, and K is strength coefficient. This is actually constant value. So for 304 stainless steel, the K value is 1275 MPa. here the unit of K value is MPa. Okay, and n is a strain hardening exponent. Okay, so n value for 304 stainless steel is 0.45. Okay, and epsilon will be how much? Epsilon means strain. So here 50% reduction. So initial length was 100 divided by how much length at the finishing means final length. So this is given taken by ln of original length divided by final length. So this is nothing but a 0.69. Okay. So just putting this value, put this value, you will get the flow stress means the YF. So here the YF is 1000 MPa. Okay. Now, just in the formula, in the previous formula here, F equal to flow stress into pi into R. You know the R value, and 1 plus 2 into mu. Mu is given, and R is also given, and H also given. So just put this value, and you will get the required forging force. So it is in Newton. Okay. Now another forging, this is impression die forging. So impression die forging, in this process the workpiece takes the shape of the die cavity. Okay. In the previous case there is a in the previous one in open die forging there is a no die means no shape in the die. Okay, in this case the shape of the die was actually flat, but in this case there is a shape of the die, and according to the shape of the die, the material get the shape of this dies. Okay, so just see this view. So this is the die, upper part of the die, and this is the lower die. This one. So the upper and lower die have a shape means have a different shape geometry. Okay, having different shape. So according to according to this shape, after forging operation, so just pressing means applying this compressive force, one type of compressive force, then the material will get compressed, and the material will take the shape according to the shape of the die. Okay, so this is the impression die forging process. But this process only carried out at a high or elevated temperature, because there is obviously you have to uh, uh, you have the material flowability must be more, मीन्स मटेरियल फ्लो ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये जो गैप है डिफरेंट शेप है, उस डिफरेंट शेप पर मटेरियल फ्लो होकर एंटर होनी है. ठीक है. So and this only possible at a high temperature. At high temperature, the material flowability is easier, and this material can get into the even a corner of the cavity. Okay, means डाई का शेप जितना ही होना material can flow at that shape. Okay, so that's why impression die forging are always performed at elevated temperature. Okay, during the deformation, some of the material flows outward and forms a flash. So just see here. Uh, just see in the below image, this image. So here what happened after applying a forging force, like applying a forging force, the material will cover all the die cavity. Suppose this is the die cavity, but the excess material will flow. Yeah, the excess material will flow. Okay, the material flow भी होगा. यहाँ पर भी flow हुआ है, this one. Okay, so this is actually called the flash. ये जो एक्स्ट्रा मटेरियल यहाँ फ्लो हो गया, Actually, this is not desirable. This part. This is the not desirable part. Your desired shape is only this part. ये जो है this part actually your desired product. Okay, this part your desired product. Okay, this part your desired product. This extra part your undesired part. But this happens due to the extra material will flow here, and this is actually also required because if there is means no extra material, then uh, there may be chances of not getting feel, means properly feel of the dye, means अगर ये एक्स्ट्रा मटेरियल नहीं रहेगा तो क्या होगा, ये पूरा फिल नहीं होने का चांसेस भी रहेगा ना, अब पूरा फिल नहीं होगा। ओके, नहीं होने का चांस रहेगा। तो पूरा फिल होने के बाद अगर एक्स्ट्रा मटेरियल है तो वो देख इट विल फ्लो आउट, ऐसे फ्लो हो जाएगा। ओके, एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड एक्चुअली फ्लश। Okay, and after the purging operation, this flash can be trimmed out, means remove, you can remove from the desired product. Okay, sometimes dye inserts are used. So dye inserts means this is actually on dye inserts, this one. So this type of dye inserts are placed in between the material, so that actually this actually internal to produce a internal shape. Okay, means this is this part is one dye part, and this the another. Okay, just pressing a force like this direction, and in between two dyes there is a another dye. Okay, this one. So actually what happens, the material will flow over here, but so the here we create a hole type of shape, means a inert hole. Okay, in the material. So sometimes these dye inserts are used in impression forging process. Okay. Another two term is fullering and edging. So fullering means if you want to the means flow the material just outer, means just you want to flow the material, means you want to thin the material in this portion. So what happens, means you want to thin the material in this portion only. So here the material will flow from here to outward. Okay, and another so this is actually called the fullering forging process. In this case, these type of these shapes of die are required. And another is just you who are uh, in the second one, you are actually collecting the material at the middle, means at the middle the volume of the material is more. Okay, at the middle here. Okay, so here the actually collecting of the material at the middle. Okay, and in this case you are actually removing the material from the middle. Okay, two opposite cases. So the second one is called the edging operation. Okay, so these are used to distribute the material properties into various regions of the length using simple shape die of the various counter. Okay, so means just distribute of the material using different shapes of the dies. Okay, shapes of the dies shapes of the dies of various counters. So in case of fullering, material is distributed away from the area. Okay, so here the material is distributed away from the area, and from this area the material is distributed away, means uh, in this way. Okay, and in aging, the material is gathered into the localized area. Okay, gathered into the localized area means the material are collected into this deformed area. So according to the requirement, you use this means shape, this type of shapes of dies. Okay, if you want to gather the material into a localized area, then this person have to perform the second one. And if you distribute the away from the localized area, then this type of dies have to be used. Okay. So this is actually the sequential process, step by step, to produce a crank shaft. Sorry, connecting rod, uh, connecting rod in a cylinder and cylinder, sorry, piston and crankshaft. So this is the connecting rod of between the piston and the crankshaft. So how you perform? This is the step by step. First is the blank. Then you are performing the edging portion. Means edging means just collecting here the material is collecting. Okay, here also the material collecting. Okay, so this edging operation, then blocking. So this is another type of operation, and then finishing. Then ultimately get this type of product, the product. And actually, on if there is a flash means extra material, then this flash can be removed by the trimming operation. Okay. So in case of impression die forging process, the force required to forge the material is nothing but a K into YF into A. Okay. So this is the simple formula, K into YF into A. But here K is not the similar that I have told the strength coefficient. Yeah, the K is here K is actually the multiplying factor, and it is constant for different shapes and geometry. Okay, I will tell. But and sigma y is the same, is the flow stress, and here is the projected area of the forging, including the flash. Hence the total projected area. Okay, so this is the k value, constant k value. So for simple shapes without flash, means simple shapes without flash, then k value will be less 3 to 5. And if simple shapes but with flash, then k value in between 5 to 8. And if the shape is very complex geometry and with the flash, then k value have to taken in between 8 to 12. Means you can take the k value 10 also. Okay, in between 8 to 10. In this case, you can take the k value 6, roughly I am telling. And in this case, you can take the value 4, whatever. So you have to take 3 to 5. Okay. So, as for example, assume that the flow stress of a material at a high forging temperature is uh, this much. Okay, so it is in psi. So this is actually flow stress. So flow stress means this is the value of y f. Okay, and the part has a projected area with flash. So part has a projected area with flash of 60 inch square. So this is the value of K, sorry A. Okay, and here actually just consider the this shape actually complex shape with flash. here is already written as the projected area have a plus. Okay, and consider one that the geometry is complex, means complex shape. Okay, then you have to calculate the required force. Okay, I think you can calculate. It is easy, yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's on task. Okay, now closed die forging process. So in this case, what happened? To reduce this flux, these dies, upper and lower dies, are means made in such a way that the flash means this flash will means to minimize actually the flash. Okay, and actually this is actually similar to the impression die forging process, but here the flux does not fall. So to minimize this flux, there is a actually guide also. Means these two dies are guide to flow the material. Okay, this one and this one. So there is no chances of forming of flux, and that's why it is sometimes called the fluxless forging. Okay, understand? So this is similar to the impression die forging process. In this case also, the material get impressed or getting under a compressive force, and die has a different shapes. Like in this case, the die upper die have this type of shapes, and lower die have this type of shapes. Okay, so this is nothing but a impression type of impression die forging process. But here the only difference is that in this case the flux is minimized to zero, means there is no chances of getting flux. Okay, that's why it is sometimes called the fluxless forging process. This forging process is very high and accurate control of the blank volume, and proper die design are essential to producing a forging with a desired dimensional tolerances. So I think understand means in this case means the calculation of blank volume, means how much blank volume is required after the operation, so that the material gets the desired shape and means desired shape and desired volume also. Okay, so according to this, you have to supply that amount of blank volume material. Okay, because there is a no plus, means no extra material you have to supply. Even you have to design the die also in such a way that after cooling there may be chances of shrinkage, some shrinkages also there. So you have to give the some tolerances according to the material thermal contraction. Okay, means अगर material cold होगा तो material then contract. So according to this, you have to design the material, and you have to calculate how means suitable amount blank volume of the material you have to pour. Okay. Now precision forging. Precision forging is actually net shaped forging process. Means with what type of shape you require, you can directly get this type of shape. Means like a making of coin. Making of coin is nothing but a forging by the forging process. So in the head portion you get exactly that shape, and in the tail portion you will get the exactly shape by this precision forging process. Connecting rods, turbine blades. Okay, so in gear, actually, obviously precision forging process is required. Means after the forging process, there is no possibility of machining of the whole parts. Okay. So, forging practice and product quality. Uh, your next class.
सर रमन सर की क्लास है।
Okay, so I think today in our university, Kamsala sir I think has come, and Kamsala sir has told means informed all the faculty to come in the auditorium. So I think all the faculties are in auditorium from 10:50. Okay. Uh, I am giving a message to Raman sir that I am taking another 10 minutes. Okay.
ओके सर।
After 10 to 15 minutes, I will free to all of you. Okay. I'll give you free. Okay. So
ओके सर।
just I'm typing on Raman sir किया ना?
जी सर।
Okay. So forging practice and product quality. And so some sequences you have to take so that the forging quality should be better. Okay, forging product quality should be better. So first, first sequence is just I am telling one by one sequence, means one by one in sequential order. Okay. So first, prepare a slug or billet or performed by processes such as shearing or cropping or sewing means with the help of hacksaw or cutting off. So first you have to prepare a fillet means according to the required volume. Okay. So first you have to prepare a billet or slab. Okay, according to the volume requirement means according to the requirement of the desired product. Okay, if there is necessary to cutting or shearing or any person, then you can do it before before the forging operation. Okay, if necessary, clean the surface by such means of short blasting. Okay, so short blasting is a process by which you can clean the surface of the you can clean the surface of the blank. means blank workpiece. Okay. Now for hot forging process, heat the workpiece at a suitable hell in a suitable furnace at a suitable temperature. Means suitable furnace means as much as possible to reduce the oxidation. Means if means mainly in general box furnace are used. So heat the workpiece at a suitable furnace at suitable temperature. If necessary, descale it with a wire brush. Descale means after heating, what happens? Uh, some means oxidation will occur at the surface, and there is actually rust on the surface of the hotted material. So by using a brush, wire brush or water jet or steam or by scraping, you can remove this oxide layer. Okay, and this is actually called descaling. So if necessary, descaling it. And the heated material you have to descale, and if necessary, means sometimes it is required to avoid the defects also. So it is necessary descaling. Uh, then for hot forging process, means in case of hot forging process, preheat the lubricant and the die. Preheat and lubricate the die. Means you have to the die means both the dies upper and lower part. You have to preheat, and then after preheating, you have to apply the lubricant. Okay. Why preheating is required? Because in case of hot forging process, you are means just contacting the die with the hot material. So if there is any means uh, any dust or anything means water particles are there, so they may create a problem. So actually preheat of the dye is required. Okay, but cold forging process preheat is not required. Just you to apply the lubricant. Okay, and then pour the billet in appropriate dies and in proper sequence. Means according to the desired product, desired shape, you use the desired dies and even the sequences also. And so if there is one or two stations, so you have to maintain one by one these sequences. Okay. If necessary, remove any excess material such as flash by trimming, machining, or grinding. Means if there is a means chances of forming the flash, then you have to trimming the flash. Okay. Then clean the forging, check the dimension, and if necessary, machine it to a final dimension and specify tolerances. So after trimming the flash, you have to clean the surface and check the dimension. If the dimension is more, then you have to machine the extra dimensions and make the specified uh, uh, tolerances. Okay. Then perform additional operations such as strengthening and heat treating. Means after forging process, you can heat treat it also again. Okay, to make the to improve the mechanical properties. Okay, actually in cold forging process, the material gets compressed, so some residual stresses are there. So to remove these residual stresses, you have to heat treat the forged product. Okay, heat treated means suppose annealing. By the annealing process, you can remove this residual stresses. Okay. Also perform any finishing operations that may be required, such as machining and grinding. So if any grinding operation are required, then you can perform it. And at the last, inspect the product. Inspect the forging for any external and internal defects. Okay. So, so this is the sequences you have to maintain to get the means a better product quality of the whole product. Now, different forging operations. There are different forging operations. So there, like coining. So this image actually so the coining operation to make the coins. Okay. So just yeah, this is the so this one is the workpiece material or the material to make the from this material you have to make the coin. Okay, and this is the this one is the upper die and the lower die. So and these two are the holder of the die. Okay, so just in the upper die they are actually make the replica, having the replica of the coin, and means a mirror replica of the coin. So just pressing it in this material, uh, this type of impression will produce. Okay, will formed. Okay, so just pressing it, this type of impression will formed. Okay, and in the lower part also, some means a replica of the just opposite part of the coin uh, are made here in this part also. So both the part means both the sides found a desired impression. Okay, so this is the coining operation. This is just simply forging operation. Then heading, piercing, hubbing, orbital forging, incremental forging, isothermal forging, rotary surging, and tube surging. Okay, so these are different means various forging operations. So just I have told the coining process. Next, there is a adding process, piercing process. Okay, hubbing, orbital forging, incremental forging, isothermal, rotary staging, and tube surging. So some of the forging process I will tell. Coining I have covered, and another heading, piercing, and rotary staging I will tell. So this is actually heading or piercing process. So just see this animated view. This is heading means just making like a means making a head. Okay, means making a desired shape at the top of the product. Yes, just making a bolt. Okay, so just to make this type of shape at the end of the product. So these operation are performed sequentially. So just this is actually blank part. So this one is the blank part. Then first press this blank part, and we will get like this first after first impression. Okay. Then after second impression, this head will get formed like this, and at the final step, ultimately you get to the bolt of the bolt. Like okay. So just see this. This is the blank material coming from here. So this is a blank, and after in the first impression, get a head like this, and the second impression get a like it this, and at the final stage get a ball type of ball type of shape. Okay, so this is just a sequentially forging process to make the desired shape at the head. Means at the one side of the
सर ये तो ऑलरेडी डाई के अंदर ही होता है ना, ये तो हेड जो हम बना रहे हैं, ये हेड का शेप जो है
piercing process. So this placing it in between two dies. Okay. So after pressing it, the material will get a form like this. Okay. So so this is the adding and piercing operation. Now so now second third is rotary saging process. So rotary saging process is nothing but a where in this case actually means there is a set of dies and what happen this all the this can be rotate like this. Okay, so this I actually call the rotary. Okay, this dies system will rotate like this. Okay, and the material will pass through this and ultimately diameter of the half part can be uniformly reduced. Okay, means the diameter of the this part can be uniformly reduced. Okay, so just see this here. This is actually the arrangement of rotary surging process. This mm, this die is so this die is actually a reciprocate and this will rotate it. Okay, and the material will pass in between these dies. Okay, so the diameter can be reduced uniformly. Okay, means and according to the shape of this die, means if the shape of the die like this, then you can make a shape on the product, means desired product. The upper means outer surface of the product, you can make a this type of shape according to the shape of the dies. So like this, if the shape of the dies are like this, then you can make a this type of product. Okay. So this is a rotary saging process, means rotation as well as hammering. Okay, rotated as well as hammered. Okay. Now forgeability of material. Forgeability. So what do you mean by forgeability? Forgeability is nothing but a ability of a material. Ability of a material is means it is a capability or ability of a material to undergo deformation, means undergo the deformation. Deformation means here the to undergo the forging operation. Okay, without cracking, means this is the ability of a material to get deformed, means to get forged without cracking. Means how it is easy. Okay. So possibility of a material in this is a decreasing order. So possibility means how easily the material can be forged. This is the basic meaning. So this is the order in decreasing, means aluminum has a highest forgeability. Okay, and at a hot temperature, means hot forging process, aluminum is forged in between 400 to 550 degree centigrade. Okay, then the forgeability is in magnesium, then copper, then carbon and low alloy steel. So this is the order of decreasing. The more means highest forgeability is aluminum alloy. Aluminum alloy can be even pure aluminum as a more forgeability compared to the aluminum alloy also. Okay, pure aluminum. Okay, because the ductility of pure aluminum or soft of the pure aluminum is more. Okay, so this is the order of purgeability. Means aluminum has a more purgeability compared to the magnesium, compared to copper, compared to carbon. Okay, so this way, and tungsten alloy has the uh, less purgeability. Okay, and tungsten alloy can be forged at uh, temperature at around 1200 to 1300 degrees centigrade. Okay, except during the in case of hot forging process. Okay, so understand. And these are the actually forging defects. So two types of defects. One is lap forming and cracking. Lap forming means suppose this is the block of forging. So what happen in this case? The material will does not flow properly. Means air material does not flow properly. So in between here, what happen? This type of uh, this type of uh, parts can be pulled. Okay, due to not properly flow of the material. Okay, and ultimately after the finishing of the forge, this type of this type of uh, defects can be produced, and this is actually called the lapse. Okay, and another in this case, this is also due to the not proper flow of the material. So in this case, a crack may be generate mainly the at the corner, means corner at the die, means where the die can make angle. So at that angle, there may be chances of formation of crack like this. Okay, so this type of crack may be generate in the whole part. So this is actually defects in the whole product. So these two type of defects can be found. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any query?
Sir,
थैंक यू सर।
राइट नाउ देर इज नन, बट वो देख लेंगे सर, उसके बाद मैं आपसे अगली बार पूछ लूंगा अगर हुआ तो मुझे कुछ।
Okay. So I will share the PPT, and even I will share some study material also. Okay.
ओके सर।
So that you can easily understand from my PPT as well as the study material, and even I
ओके सर।
will supply the recorded video also. Okay.
ओके सर।
Okay. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.